It's been mayhem in Madrid. We've had Rafa Jodar, the new teenage sensation from Spain, knocking out João Fonseca. We've had Arthur Fees, he's been looking damn good again. And on the women's side, Rybakina out, Gauff out, and the quarterfinals are about to begin.
That's right, Ben. It is hotting up in Madrid. And the women are already into the quarterfinals. The men, they're one round behind. And Rafael Jodar, as you've mentioned in the intro, is the standout and the player who everybody is talking about right now. It is a Rafael from Spain, not my favourite one, Rafael Nadal. And it's not Carlos Alcaraz as well, which is insane. The fact that we've got yet another Spanish sensation. And the reason I'm saying sensation is because what he's doing right now, I can't really recall many young players doing this with such little experience before. I mean, with Carlos Alcaraz, with your Mercedes, we was watching them on the Challenger circuit. They were beating players up, looking really good. There was a body of work what went behind them. With Rafael Jodar, let's be fair. I mean, I didn't know anything about him until November time. In December, we was trying to do some predictions for next year. He was outside the top 100. I knew he was playing the next gen finals. He beat Landaluce. I went for Landaluce. I picked the wrong Spaniard. That was clear to me from the moment after that final and just the start of January. It was too late. But let's not take away from my bad decisions because there's plenty of them in this world. Let's speak about Jódar. Because we've got Jose Moron here, and I like this tweet. He said, what blows my mind the most out of everything, Jódar is only 107 points away from being seeded at Roland Garros, and he's got less than 5 months as a professional. And he said, I don't remember a case like it. I echo that. There's not been many at all where a player has come from pretty much nowhere as a young player who's beaten everyone up. And you've got my player who is in the top 10 in Fonseca, this player who can maybe compete with the Carlos Alcaraz or the Sin Alcaraz duo at the top. Can he compete with your Ben Sheltons, your Taylor Fritz, your Dimonors, your Mercedes? He just seems like he's already there. Maybe not with the top two, but this is a top 10 player very soon. I don't see any weaknesses in his game. I'll be totally honest. I've refused to watch this kid very much because I thought he was just winning matches he should be winning. But he got my attention the last few weeks. And now I watch every match. I am fascinated every time he hits the court because a lot of the times the bookmakers now price him crazy odds. Like they have him favourite for most matches. He was favourite against Fonseca. And Fonseca is this guy who I was going to think to get inside the top 10. My money would be on Jódar right now.
Yeah, it's wild. He's sort of come out of nowhere, it seems. And he is a guy with some fantastic stats that he has to his name. This one I thought was brilliant. He's won 11 of his first 12 matches on clay. He says only Tom Ocker did better in the Open era, starting with 12-0, eventually reaching 18-0. He said notable players, Rafa, Nadal started with 8-4, which was good. Roger Federer 1-11.
Yeah, we know that.
Disaster. But put that into consideration. The way he's just come into this tournament, he's obviously been playing fantastically well in Barcelona as well. I just quite blown away by his performances. They're not just like, oh, he's gritty, he's grinding. He's destroying some players in these rallies. He's really powerful. His serve is so powerful as well. What he did to Alex de Minaur.
Yeah, that was the one what made me stop a little bit.
Wow. I mean, Fonseca, one thing, you'd think, oh, yeah, maybe it's a 50-50 shootout, two young players.
That's impressive as well.
It's impressive, but Alex de Minaur, to actually take him out in that type of fashion, I didn't think he'd be able to breadstick Alex de Minaur. He got it done in just over an hour. Alex de Minaur, he's one of the top players in the world, one of the most consistent players on nearly every surface. and he made it look easy. The Fonseca last set, he made look easy as well. He played out of his skin. I feel like being in Madrid as well, it's helping. We we thought we were losing something from this tournament when we lost Carlos Alcaraz, but I feel like where every like door closes, like another window opens to something special. And now Spain have got something. It's almost like even better. Now you've got another superstar who's sort of coming through. Would that have happened had there been Alcaraz in this tournament? We don't know. But the fact that Alcaraz is away and now Jodar's time to shine comes in, it's like he gets his own limelight now. Alcaraz isn't there stealing the show.
Yeah, but I think Alcaraz can still be there, and Jódar does his stuff. Of
I
course,
agree.
if he gets him early, it's not great. But that's the same for any young player. With Jódar, though, I mean, I sent you a tweet now, which is quite fascinating. It's pretty much more of the same, but that is victories in his first 25 matches of his career.
Let me find that.
If you look at all of the best players here, you've got Fonseca, he's got 15, Nadal 15, Alcaraz 14, Sinner 12, Djokovic 12, Federer 11. Jódar's top of the list with 17.
Yeah.
Out of his first 25 matches, he's won 17 of them. That doesn't happen. As a professional tennis player, it simply doesn't happen because we've seen the level of tennis from 1 to 400, 1 to 500 in the world is high. There's so many good tennis players. The challenger circuit is no joke at all. This guy's just come in straight to, it just seems from nowhere and just winning everything. And I honestly think that top 10 is really achievable this year. He's currently, let's bring it up. He's currently a career high of 34 in the world.
Wow.
I mean, if he wins another one, he's going to probably overtake Fonseca soon.
Yeah.
Roland Garros, we know there is no Carlos Alcaraz. This is where it fits into the narrative you were saying a second ago. Without Carlos Alcaraz here, there is an opportunity, this Roland Garros, for someone to win it who doesn't usually win it. Because Rafael Nadal's dominated it for the last few decades. And then you've got Alcaraz, who's looked pretty good recently there. Is Djokovic going to come back into the fray? I don't think so. Not on a clay court if he's going to win a slam. This is an opportunity for your Fonsecas, for your Jodars. These guys, I think, have real good chances at Roland Garros. Throw in Fees as well, because he's another one. What's he, 21 as well?
Yeah.
Pretty young.
He's really
21,
really
almost 22. It's going to be fascinating. I mean, Arthur Fees probably more than all of them. The fact that he's French. Roland Garros have a French player who's honestly got a good shot of Roland Garros this year.
He's definitely going to have the crowd on his side. And I think it's another good thing as well, because obviously it's coming to the end of the career of Galmon Fees. So we're looking like saying goodbye to him. It's going to be his last Roland Garros as well. And now we're going to have a great new young player in Arthur Fees who's going to come in. We don't really speak enough about Arthur Rybakina. She's right there next to Arthur Fees, but doesn't have quite that same
He's not going to win
power.
big things.
No, it's not the same star power, is it? It's just, I feel that Arthur Fees has something about him which you can't really replicate. I love the story of Rybakina and the fact he's doing it so late in his career, but I feel that it is too little too late from him. The thing I love about Jódar as well, just to go back to him, is the fact that it is such a simplistic way of coming through. He only has one person in his box for his matches, and it's his dad. And here he is. And apparently, this is what he's saying. He said he wasn't a tennis player, but learned a lot about the game so he could coach his son when he realized that his son had passion for it. And that's who was in his box, just his dad. And it's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, it's a unique scenario all around because usually tennis players come from a background where they've got a dad or parents who are really involved in tennis. I mean, Andy Murray, at the end of the day, helped him so much having such a big tennis background. Same with Rafael Nadal, his uncle. Everyone, really. Djokovic, there's always been a history. His brother playing, his dad's really pushing him. There's always a family environment, what pushes you on. With Jódar, it seems like his parents just were a bit shocked as well. I mean, his dad's in his box, doesn't know loads about tennis, but he's there supporting him. And this is a prime example, this situation with Jódar, where wild cards work. I know your beloved Raducanu, that is the prime example where it doesn't work But this is where it does work, because he was given a wild card to Barcelona, got all the way to the semi-finals.
And now another wild card here.
Exactly. And this is how it should be. I mean, you give players wild cards for an opportunity to prove themselves. And he's proved this is his level. But we would never have seen these runs from him if he wasn't given the wild card. And this is what I think wild cards should be about. It should be young players from that country given a shot to play on the courts they've practiced on a lot of their lives,
I think
and they've
only their
always wanted
country?
to be there. I think it should predominantly be from your country, young players just given an opportunity to go out there and do things.
Yeah, I think not just
I
from
hate
their
all this
country, but
older
yeah,
players giving wild cards for. I think it's not fair. I think it should be predominantly. I think there should be an age cap on wild cards. That's what I'm putting out on this episode.
well, Andy Murray wouldn't have got much of a look in the back end of his career if we didn't have those wild cards. And you got to remember, the reason for those wild cards is the tournaments want the big names in there.
Yeah,
If they
that sells
are old,
tickets as well.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I do understand it. I understand exactly why it's happening, but I'm going to stick with it. I prefer opportunities to be given to young people.
For sure. Other young people who have been doing well, not a wild card in this event, but did have quite a good little run. Dino Prismic,
Yeah,
remember him when he played against Djokovic? I
met
think it
him
was
as well, didn't we?
the Australian Open. Can't remember. If we did, then it's another one that walked past us, probably. Yeah, he beat Berrettini in straight sets in this tournament, beat Ben Shelton in 3 sets, and then came a cropper in 3 sets to somebody who's one of the best clay quarters on tour right now, which is Thomas Martin Etcheverry, who has a very interesting matchup with Arthur Fils next round. So they're two very informed clay court players who will be heading off against each other. Fils versus Etcheverry, tough to call. Arthur Fils, I think, will be the slight favourite. No, well, it's a heavy favourite, actually. 1.29 against 3.75 for Etcheverry. Yeah, I think that's fair. He has done well. He's won Barcelona. I think he's earned that.
Fils is the real deal. He's the real deal. What was the other episode? The last one when you were saying Shelton this, Shelton that, recency bias. And I was very close. I'll give you credit. I mean, I thought Shelton, and they're very close, but Fils just edged it for me, and it's been proven right because he is looking better right now. Daniel Medvedev on the clay. Is he better on clay than on the hard courts? There's a funny stat. So Medvedev since 2023 at Madrid and Rome, he's 17 wins and 5 losses. If you compare that to Canada and Cincinnati, it's 4 wins and 6 losses.
Interesting.
He prefers these clay masters than you'd think. Daniel Medvedev's bread and butter in the hard courts. Well, in Cincinnati and Canada.
That is bizarre to have that statistic, especially as he always claims to not like playing on these courts. Yeah, I think he's got a bit. He's getting better though on the hard courts again, and I think that as much as he moans about it, I think he's actually been trying to get better at the clay over the last few years.
All in all, it's been a positive year this year, by the way. I know we've seen a few off results and him going crazy at Monte Carlo. But on the whole, 2026 so far, I think it's been a really positive year for Daniel Medvedev.
Yeah, well, I think he's back and he's dangerous again, and that's what we like to see. And on all surfaces, this is a tournament more designed for him, quicker. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes through a few more rounds. I need to see who he's playing next, though, to make a full assessment. I can give you a quick look. It ties in nicely with who I was about to talk about next, actually, which is my top 10 man, Flavio Cobolli, who knocks out Vallejo, who was having a good tournament. Another player who we don't really, I've known the name before from some challengers, that type of thing. Nice to see him actually doing well on the main tour. Beat Lernatien, and Cobolli just proven he's too good. And Cobolli versus Medvedev, brilliant match. I absolutely can't wait to see who wins that one. I can't call it as well. Medvedev, would you say slight favourite, or would you give it to Gaboli right now with his form he's in? It's quite close.
Super tough. I think it's a great match. Great match. Maybe you edge Daniel Medvedev, but I
Yeah.
watched Carabelli Caboli. That
Mm.
was a really good match, by the way. Carabelli is a serious player. He's
Yeah.
great. He's great on the clay. Obviously, an Argentine tennis player. All of them are great on clay. Um, what really struck me was how hard them to hit the ball. I mean, it's just a really good tennis match. Maybe it's even worth. I know it's a few days ago, but just go check out them highlights. I really enjoyed the Carabelli Caboli match. Caboli had a little bit too much class, really, and I think that's what's shown through the fact that this is a top player, Caboli, against
Mhm.
a really good opposition. He's a good player. He holds his own. He knows what he's doing on a tennis court. And I fancy him based off that against most players on tour. Daniel Medvedev, that's why when you ask me, as much as he's having a good year, I think it's a really tight match, difficult to call. Maybe you edge Medvedev slightly, but close.
Yeah, I think it is in the odds as well, 1.8 to evens for
Yeah,
Caboli.
I'm not
So
surprised.
they can't really call it either. Just to show you who else we have in action in the next round of the men's as well, I'll just put them up on the screen because there's other surprises. I think this one probably one of the biggest, and it is Cam Norrie, who on a bit of a sterling run at the moment, but I have a feeling it may come to an end. Yannick Sinner is next up for Cam Norrie, and Yannick Sinner, has he been given a nice nice route through? This is actually a player that we did see live that he played last, which is Moller from Denmark. We did see him play, but I thought it was quite funny. There was a little post that was done that says Sinner's competition whilst Alcaraz is injured. I don't know if you saw this. Moller went to serve and threw his racket accidentally,
Yeah, I did see this.
and then had to hit the ball with his hand for the second shot. That's what Sinner's having to put up with right now. Players who don't use rackets anymore. Yeah, I just thought it was just a funny little meme. Moller had actually played quite well in some spells of this. Good drop shots, had some
Yeah,
really good
he's
cross
not good
court.
enough.
No, compared to Sinner, it was just like,
I don't even mean compared to Sinner. I think even against your other like your Cabolas and that, I think he's he's below that level. He's got potential. I watched him a full match on the Challenger circuit last year, which he lost. It's a long match, and I was a bit disappointed really with what I saw when he was a big favourite. Him losing that one. But there's a player in there, but I don't think he's a world beater by any means. Alex Zverev on a clay court. Not
yeah,
many players have won as many matches as him. I think only 4 players in the format's history, so that is Masters 1000, has claimed more wins on clay. And that is
wow,
Nadal, Djokovic, Federer, and Ferrer. So since 1990, he's 5th on that. He's got 71 wins on a clay court and a Masters match. And Rafael Nadal has 200. That is insane. Second, Djokovic 137. Third, Federer 113. Ferrer 80. But Zverev has been that guy really on the clay courts. He probably on paper now without Alcaraz and no Nadal, Roland Garros, you could make a claim that he is the favourite. Obviously not because you got Sinner there, but in terms of body of work, what he's done on a clay court, there's nobody else. You could say Djokovic, but I don't feel like right now. I think Zverev, this is probably one of the best opportunities he's ever going to get to win Roland Garros. I don't think you're going to see many more years where you've not got a Carlos Alcaraz and a Sinner playing. And I think with the likes of your Jódars, all these fees, all these other players getting better and better, maybe this year's a little bit too soon, but they're going to be stronger. Zverev has an unbelievable chance of Roland Garros. Unbelievable chance.
For me, I don't want to be dismissive of
But
his.
you've got to agree, this is his best chance.
Oh yeah, but we said how many times we said it. Zverev, this is his best chance. I think it's like a broken record. This is Zverev's best chance to win a slam. Dominic Thiem in the final, or this is Zverev's best chance. He's playing his best tennis ever. If he meets Sinner in the final or something like that, it's only going one way. I'm sorry, but it's just mentality.
What
Is
if he
the thing.
doesn't?
Yeah, if he doesn't, he needs to hope he doesn't meet somebody else with a better mentality. That's it. If he meets Dominic Thiem, Jódar will beat him probably if he has that mentality. That's the sad thing. If he got all the way to the final and he was just striking the ball with
Is Jódar
freedom,
winning Roland Garros, Ben?
he might be winning Roland Garros, I think. Or Nadal might come back and then make a run for it. I was thinking on this screen right now, there's two of them I've spoken to before, and one of them I've been in the presence of before. But the other two, Zverev and Federer, sadly not. So that's about it. Yeah, I've spoken to Nadal, spoken to Ferrer. Nice.
Djokovic.
No, I didn't get to. I stood near him.
Right.
That's as close as I got to Djokovic. Had to move out of his way at some point. But anyway, moving on to somebody I think that we need to speak about, who is sort of always in the mix when it comes to clay court tennis, but hasn't really been in the mix with the top players recently. Looks great in this tournament, Casper Ruud, and it is the 2025 champion. And no one's talking about Casper Ruud, but he's been cruising through this tournament, as has Stefanos Tsitsipas. Is he back again? Another tournament from Tsitsipas. This one's going to be an interesting one to call, because Tsitsipas just beat Bublik very convincingly as well. I think Casper Ruud's looking as good as I've ever seen him. He looks like he's back at home again. There's no grass courts here. It's all clay. He's for the foreseeable future. I think he knows that he's like a good racehorse. Like, he's just getting his good groove in, like 2 tournaments before the big race, which is going to be Roland Garros. And I wouldn't be surprised that if there's no Alcaraz, that we see Casper Ruud back in the Roland Garros final again. I mean, he's done it before multiple times. So,
well, I'm glad you said it, because there's a nice segue to what I was going to say next, and that is the ATP fantasy game. Make sure, if you aren't playing it, to sign up right now. It's free to play on the official ATP website. You can find it. We've got a Game to Love League. There's the code. For the audio listeners, it is 3416 dash 9N. Is that 0?
yeah.
Oh, no. 0 CD. It's on the screen right now. If you didn't follow what I just said, you can just simply go onto our Twitter or on the YouTube channel community, and we've got the league code there.
I'll put it in the link to this video as well.
Brilliant. And I have transferred in, sneak peek, Casper Ruud for the next event in Rome.
Ooh.
I'm going to be playing a good little game there with Casper Ruud. It's going to be a great game. We are going to be playing it every single week on Game to Love. We're going to be bringing you exclusive episodes speaking about the ATP Fantasy League. So please play along. Opportunity to win prizes too. And it's going to be some good competition, because it's another way of me proving that I know more about tennis than you. I feel like over the years, I've done it in every single way. I've done it with draws. I've done it with quarterfinal predictions. I've done it with wild cards. I've done it with players to watch. And now I'm going to do it in a fantasy league as well. I mean, it's getting a little bit embarrassing for you, Ben.
Nah, I just feel like this is where my time to shine has come. You're going to be picking all these big names, Casper Ruud, this player, that player. I'm going to be finding.
You're just going to go off form. I know what you're going to do. You're going to have Jódars in. You're going to have all the form. You're going to run out of coins.
Hidden gems that are just little £1 that you don't know about. They're going to make big storming runs at tournaments. They're going to earn me money.
Well, have you seen with the rules, if you get an underdog and they beat someone better, you get more points for their wins.
Yeah, and if they
it can get quite tactical.
Well, if your player grows in value, then you got more money in the pot to spend. So this is what's going to be happening. Like all my £1 or $1 or €1 whatever you want to call it, all of those are going to turn into €20. I'm going to have so much money. I'm going to have like a few teams, I think, by the end of the season.
It doesn't work like that. You need to read the rules. But I need to get more up with the rules. We're going to officially launch us playing it in Rome. I've already had one practice week. I must admit, I forgot to do it for Madrid. So I've still got Carlos Alcaraz as my captain. But I think it goes to the player to its right, as the
The
captain, which I
alternate,
think
I
could be
think.
like it could be like a fee. So it's not doing
Oh,
too bad.
pretty good.
We're going to be officially playing it though and competing against each other from Rome. So please join the league. The code's on the screen, and best of luck. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really good way, an interactive way to do our previews, and we will be bringing you videos dedicated just to that every single week.
Yes, we will. Let's move away from the men's. We have to touch on the women's as well. Obviously, we're into the quarter-final stage on the women's, and the last match of the day threw up the upset of the day, maybe, as Jelena Rybakina, the most in-form lady on tour, it would seem, she loses in straight sets to Potapova. And Anastasia was one of her biggest wins of her career. Second win over a world number 2. 8 wins out of her last 10 matches. First Madrid quarterfinal. First WTA 1000 quarterfinal since 2024. And 8th top 10 win. First since Madrid last year. Yeah, and won 11 out of 12 points to close out the match. This week's lucky loser is a big winner. Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked. Really big upset. And Potopova's been playing well. I saw that her form's not been too bad.
Yeah.
I don't have it to hand now, but I saw that she's been winning quite a few matches of late. So seems to have turned a corner. Rybakina just had a bit of a bad day in the office. Coco Gauff, I think, didn't have such a bad day in the office. She was playing probably better than Noskova for the whole match. But Noskova had a little bit too much. I mean, she was down a double break in the third set and then comes back and beats Coco Gauff. Lost the second set 6-1. Collapse from Coco Gauff, but she was the better player, and Noskova dug in and did extremely well. So I think they're two upsets. The Rybakina one being the biggest, but then I feel like the Noskova one, from the position where she was, I'm more shocked that she was able to win it.
Yeah, Coco's going to be really disappointed. 4-1 up to throw it away. It was there. Yeah, it was there for the taking, but Noskova proving that she is that ranking in the world for a reason now. She's not just there. She's number 13 in the world, I think, coming into this tournament. Looking like that could be rising. This is your number 10 or a top 10 player come the end of the year, and she's looking good for it right now. Very young player as well. How old is she? Is she 21? 21. So, yeah, more points on offer for Linda Noskova. And next round is the quarterfinals, and she will be up against Marta Kostyuk, somebody else. Typical this year, Marta Kostyuk. When I don't put her in my top 10 now, she's amazing all of a sudden. And her best result in this tournament so far has to be against Jess Pegula, which I've never seen Jess Pegula made look more average. She was battered by Marta Kostyuk in this match. And Marta Kostyuk, she just beat another American just straight after that. McNally, straight sets yet again. And in just as convincing fashion, 6-2, 6-3, barely even coming close in these sets. Do you think this is going to be a close one between her and Noskova, or do you think Kostyuk is on a bit of a run right now?
I think it could be a 3-set match. I think it's tight. I don't know which way. Obviously, I'm going to be going for Noskova because she's in my top 10.
Yeah,
but it's a tight one. All in all, I feel like the match is going to be one from. It's got to be Sabalenka. I mean, it's on her racket more than ever. She's so good at this tournament. I feel if I had to compare the men's and the women's, I think Sabalenka has more chance of winning the women's than Sinner does the men's.
Yeah, I would say, after this performance today, just proves
it's not just that, it's the tournament. Do you know she's 23 wins and 1 loss in Madrid since 23?
It suits her down to the ground, though. It's just
great conditions, great court for her.
It's perfect. And seeing that match again today proved that, I know everyone's going to say you always say the same thing, but when she proves it time and time again, this was Osaka playing some of her best tennis.
That's the thing. Yeah.
And she was able to come back from the set down again, and she just locks in. Once she's found that groove, she just never gives up in these rallies anymore. There's that like Osaka, I saw give up in a lot of rallies because when they go longer and longer, she just doesn't want to run anymore. Sabalenka doesn't stop running anymore, and she
Did you
just
see her shot the other day where she did like the
yeah.
backhand on the run?
Oh, said one of her best shots ever. Yeah, I mean, it was impressive. I don't see her do that. I didn't see her do that a few years ago. She's really got a
She's very
desire.
confident. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Confidence. It literally is pushing her through the
definitely.
final sets of matches. And you saw after she won the second set, there was only one player was going to win the third, and she just dominated Osaka in that third set. And now, yeah, I mean, it's a tall order for whoever she was going to play, but the lucky lady is Hailey Baptiste. Does she stand a chance?
No. So this is what I'm saying. I'm looking at it honestly, and as much as I'm a big Andreeva fan, I think with her, she's really been struggling. I saw her; she had a bit of an outburst into her box. She was saying she's going to lose the match, shouting. Not a great look, really, but young player, someone who's got a lot of charisma, who I love a lot, who's done so much already in such a young career. I'm not going to be critical of her, but I think she's not in the best place confidence-wise, whereas Sabalenka is at the peak of her game. She's lost, one match this year? She's just... I see her as probably a more dominant player than Yannick Sinner. And I think there's more chances Saba wins the tournament than Sinner does on the men's. And I think there's a high chance that both of them win it. And we know what it's like with the SNS. Whenever Sabalenka wins a tournament, Sinner seems to win one as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good double to have. If I had to pick an outsider out of all of these, I think maybe Noskova, because at the bottom in Pliskova, Potapova, I mean, them two, Potapova's done fantastically well. Pliskova's had a pretty nice draw to get to where she is. I think that's a great opportunity for whoever wins out of Noskova or Kostyuk. You'd fancy to be in the final. I'll be shocked if either of them two aren't in the final. And that's a great chance. Masters final for one of them. And you never know what happens in the final. But Sabalenka, I don't see no way she doesn't make the final.
Okay. Give me your picks for each of the quarterfinals then, if you had to.
I'm going to go wild then. Sabalenka, Fernandez, Noskova, Potapova.
Yeah, I'm going to go Saba, Andreeva, Kostyuk, Potapova.
So you're going against Noskova, typical. I knew you'd do that.
No shocks there.
Just hate me, didn't you?
No, she's playing well. She's winning in straight sets every time. But yeah, let us know your predictions in the comments section and let us know your thoughts about all of the matches. Your thoughts about Jódar. Is he going to replace Carlos Alcaraz as the biggest Spanish player on tour one day? Or are we going to see them play doubles? Something like that. I mean, we had Alcaraz, we had Rafa. Now we could have Alcaraz and another Rafa playing doubles. I mean, I'd love to see all of it happening. Maybe if we could just have somebody else challenging Yannick Sinner for the time being, that would be enough, I think.
Yeah, and more good news for my ATP Fantasy, because I've also got Francisco Cerundolo, who is beating everyone up. I think most people will have him in the teams. I think he's selected by a lot.
So good.
He's someone you have on the clay courts. But let us know, who do you have in your team for Rome? We'll be doing our official video where we reveal the exact roster of players we've got for Rome. So stay tuned for that. And if you haven't already, please give us a like, subscribe, and let's go. Rafael Jodar.